Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be looking at variables in JavaScript. So let's get started. So for the overview for today's video, we are going to be going over the variable introduction and looking at what variables are. Then we're going to be going over data types and the different types of data types. And finally, we're going to be doing some coding. So pretty short, but yeah, so let's get started. So variables are a very core, subject in programming. And variables, it's not just in JavaScript, even though that's what we're going to be doing today. Variables come in basically all programming languages, and they're the fundamental of all of them. So variables can store data like strings of text, different numbers, lists, etc. The value inside of these variables can be retrieved whenever it is called. Usually variable names are symbolic or very short. So what this means is instead of, writing like a long sentence and printing it out, you can store variables or you can store data in variables. And then instead of like writing out a whole sentence or writing out a whole equation, you could just say like call A, which is like the variable name. And it's really easy, and variables are especially very useful when you're writing long pieces of code and you don't want to write everything out. You can just store it in little variables, and it's easy to call and easy to use, especially if you're using variables or like data over and over again. So some rules for variable names, because people will put like all these crazy variable names, and usually variable names are just like short and sweet, because that's when you really find it useful. So variable names can't start with the number. So you can't start with like 1 or 2 or something. Then it only must include alphanumeric characters. So all the alphabets and 0 to 9 numbers. And then you can include underscores. Variable names can't include spaces. So that's why people will add underscores between words just to make it more readable. And then a variable name can't include a JavaScript keyword. And we haven't learned all the keywords yet, but just like some examples are if, break, while, and then there are plenty more, but don't use any keywords. And also, again, you can just keep it really short. You don't even need to like make it really long where you need spaces. Just keep it like 1 or 2 letters, or maybe like a letter and a number, just to keep it very short, because again, that's when it's most useful, if it's really short. Because if it's long, then you can just type in the actual data. Now there are a couple of data types. So data types are the things you put inside variables. So there are 5 major data types or values you can put in variables. They are the number data type, the string data type, Boolean data type, undefined data type, and null data type. So you can see right here in this diagram, there are all the data types, and you'll see which each one is when we do the coding. And these are 5 major types, data types in JavaScript. So now let's get coding. So go onto Replit or code.org and start coding along with me. Either one will work for this project. So I'm just going to be going to the project, and then I'm going to be going over what I coded. Okay, guys, so here I'm just going to jump directly to the script part. So I typed out all the 5 data types, and you can see the comments which one each one is. So first is the string data type, and strings are basically like long sentences, or really you can even include numbers. It's always in quotation marks. So for example, if I were to say my name is Ritika, I would put it in quotation marks and then type it out. So that is string. So strings are like, sentences. You can even put numbers. It just needs to be in quotation marks. If it's not in quotation marks, it's the number data type, and we'll get to that. And I just put here, in JavaScript, you do need to put var for variable. So you would put var, and then you would put your variable name, and then you would put whatever your data is. So like var a equals to, and then in quotation marks, coding for kids. And you can see right here, if I press run, it does print out coding for kids. Then for the number data type, we have two variables. We have variable B and variable C, which is 5 and 10. And then you can see right here, I just added a little bit of a space. That's why there's this. And then you can see I put B plus C, which is 5 plus 10, and that equals 2 if we run 15. Then we have our null data type, and null is basically like you're gonna add a value but you just don't have one right now, so that's why you put null. And then you can see if we run, it just prints out null. And also the number data type is just for operators, and if, for example, if you're gonna like subtract something, you use the number data type. If you put your number in quotation marks, or if you put like an equation in quotation marks, that is considered a string. So just make sure it's not in quotation marks, because these two are kind of hard to differentiate. So if it's in quotation marks, it's a string. If it's not, it's the number data type. So if you're putting like equations and stuff, then you use the number data type. But if you just want to print out the number, like if you want to print out 7, then you would use the string data type. Now, undefined is when you don't add any data type or any data. It's just like var e, and there's nothing there. So that's undefined, and you can see right here. And then finally, Boolean. The Boolean data type is basically it's true or false. So for example, if you're saying like 5 plus 5 equals 11, that's not true, that's false. So it would print out false, because 5 plus 5 is not equal to 11. It's equal to 10, so it would print out false. If you said 5 plus 5 equals 10, that would print out as true. So that's the Boolean data type. And then if you scroll down, that's all our code. So those are the 5 data types. Now I'm going to be going back to our slideshow so we can finish off the video. So guys, for review, we learned about variables and we kind of got introduced to variables. Then we looked at the data types and the different types of data types. And then finally, we did some coding and, just tried out all the variables and data types and how they look like in code. So guys, that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below if you liked it or what other topics you want me to do, and share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe, because that really helps out a lot. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.